Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Federation Nation. I am Anthony. This is Collectors Entertainment Network, and today we are going to take a look at Superstars 2. We've already looked at Superstars 1 a little while back, but today we're going to get into Superstars 2. Before we do that, guys, I'd like to ask you, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back. Please comment down below, did you have this magazine? Let me know your story. Please share this video with anyone you think may like it as well, and go ahead and give this video a like. That helps a lot too. Also, please go on over to Facebook and join the Federation Nation Facebook group. I want to see you show off your WWF collections. I want to see them too. It's not just about me showing mine, which is great, and I love sharing it with you guys, but I want to see your WWF collections. Give me some ideas of what maybe I want to try and, search after. So definitely go on over there and join that and show off your collections. All right, so Superstars 2. This was the one that came out in 1987, so we're going to get into that. We're going to do it just like we do from the pages, so let's just get right into it. Alright guys, here we go. WWF presents Superstars 2, your complete guide to today's World Wrestling Federation Superstars. Let's get inside. Now, this magazine came out in 1987, but if you see, I got this May 19th, 1989. If memory serves, I got this off of a friend that had it. Either I bought it or traded. I'm not exactly sure. I did not get this at the time. The first Superstars I ever bought on newsstands was Superstars 3 the following year. But I did get this in 1989, so I have had it for a long, long time. All right, World Wrestling Federation Champion Hulk Hogan. Of course, he's the first one. Lots of pictures of him. Good stuff. More Hulk Hogan on Superstars of Wrestling. And Hulk Hogan versus the King, Harley Race. Number 2 is Ken Patera. This is when he had just come back to the WWF earlier in the year, probably summer of 87, and I believe these Superstar magazines were released in the fall. There is his debate with Bobby the Brain Heenan. And of course, Randy Macho Man Savage. He is the man on the cover. This is shortly after his face turn, in which he was feuding with the Honky Tonk Man. But I guarantee most of these pictures are probably from his heel run, because he really was just freshly turned babyface. Alright, some good stuff. Look at him coming off the top rope. Jimmy Mouth of the South Hart. There he is with the Anvil, and of course with the Hart Foundation and Danny Davis. I believe that picture is from the Hart Foundation Coliseum video. Speaking of the Hart Foundation, here they are. When this was released in 1987, they were the tag champs and about to lose it to Strikeforce, but they were still the champs when this was released. I think they lost it in either October or November of 87, and this was probably released around that time. So definitely when it was published, they were the champs. And more of Jimmy Hart's stable. You have the Honky Tonk Man, who at this time was the Intercontinental Champion. They show, yeah, there he is. He's got the belt on in that picture right there. And there he is versus Junkyard Dog. And he's got the, this is an older picture because he's got the suspenders still. All right, more of Jimmy Hart's stable. You've got Dangerous Danny Davis. I wonder if they just get through all of Jimmy Hart's guys and then move on to others. But there is Dangerous Danny Davis. And now here's Bobby the Brain Heenan. They'll probably do all of Bobby Heenan's guys, obviously known as the Heenan family. There he is. That is from the Saturday night's main event where Hercules wins the Battle Royal. You know, that Battle Royal right before WrestleMania 3 did such a great job of promoting WrestleMania 3. Andre and Hogan were in it. Andre threw Hogan out, and then obviously a bunch of wrestlers teamed up and threw Andre out, but Hercules was the big winner And speaking of Hercules, here he is. So maybe they are going to do that and have all of Bobby Heenan's guys next. We'll see. So there is Hercules. Who's next? The Islanders, Haku and Tama. Yep. Showing you the Heenan family. There they are. The Islanders. Followed by King Harley Race. Of course, a major player in the Heenan family at this time in late 87. King Kong Bundy, of course, also a major Bobby Heenan family guy. And then maybe they'll do all the baby faces at the end. I'm not sure how they're breaking this down. Andre the Giant, probably the biggest Bobby Heenan guy, both in size and in notoriety. There he is, of course, on Piper's Pit when he rips the shirt off of Hogan and challenges him to the WrestleMania 3 match. And here, of course, is the WrestleMania 3 match. Alright, Slick. So they're probably going to follow it with all of Slick's guys. Who did he have back at this point? Let's see who he had. He had the one-man gang, absolutely. Before he turned to Akeem, he was actually still cool as the one-man gang. Wish they never changed it. He was way cooler as the gang than he was as Akeem. The Natural Butch Reed, of course. I don't know how much longer he was. Well, I think he was in WWF into 1988. But not much further into... Yeah, because he was at WrestleMania 4, I believe, right? I think he was at WrestleMania 4. But then shortly after that, I think he was gone. But yeah, definitely by late 87, he was still there. And that's it for Slick, it looks like. Mr. Fuji, of course, here is Demolition over on here. So I'm sure they're going to show them next. But that is Mr. Fuji. Yep, he had Killer Khan at this time. I definitely remember that. I remember a Killer Khan, was it versus Hogan at Madison Square Garden? It was on MSG Network, and I seen it, and I thought I taped it, but I could never find that tape. I don't know. I think that's what it was. I think it was Hogan versus Killer Khan at the Garden, like late 87. Alright, you got Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter. And, of course, there he is with Kim Chi. But not Mr. Fuji. And then you go Demolition, Axe, and Smash. Now, was Kamala actually managed by Mr. Fuji, and they also had Kim Chi as a handler? Is that the way it went? I feel like it, because they're also including him with all the Fuji guys. We had Demolition, Axe, and Smash. And alright, here's Johnny V. And we're going to get to all of his guys. There's Valentine right there, obviously. But who else did he have? And he's got the Beefcake with the circle with the line through it. Alright, the new Dream Team, of course. They just teamed them up and didn't do them individually. So you got Dino Bravo and Greg the Hammer Valentine. And that's it for Johnny V at this time. And now I guess we're getting into the baby faces. There's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I think he's taking on Hercules. And there he is with his son. Alright, I guess it's not all the baby faces, because obviously we have Outlaw Ron Bass, but Ron Bass was not managed by anyone at this time, so he just is here by himself. You've got Jake the Snake Roberts, of course, a very popular guy at this time. In fact, look, he's getting more pages than just the two, because he was pretty popular. Look at that. The Snake Pit, and it looks like he's got like the entire Heenan family on there, except for maybe Andre. You got Herc, Orndorff, Bundy, King Harley Race, and then of course there he is with Alice Cooper getting ready for WrestleMania 3. Alright, the Junkyard Dog, also super popular wrestler back in the 80s. And Outback Jack, he was new to the Federation. He's wrestling something. Crocodiles? I don't know. Alright, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He was just getting into the Federation. When did he come in? Was it probably was like summer or late summer of 87. Because he was a huge player by 88. But he wasn't there for WrestleMania 3. It might have been shortly after WrestleMania 3. Maybe late spring, early summer is when DiBiase, they started doing the vignettes. I'm not sure. Yeah, look, he's already got multiple pages. They were really building up the $1 Million Man. And of course, Elizabeth, there she is with the Macho Man and George Steele. Macho Man versus George Steele was a feud that lasted well over a year. And Elizabeth even gets multiple pages. And of course, there she is with Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat. That, of course, was also a huge feud that lasted from like late 86 to WrestleMania 3, basically. So at least 6 months there. Billy Jack Haynes. There he is versus Hercules at WrestleMania 3. And I actually had a Billy Jack Haynes poster. It wasn't this, but it might have been during this photo shoot. But he had his, like, you know, green and yellow, like, sequence jacket on. But everything else looked exactly the same. Same hat, same thing around, you know, thing around the neck. Oh, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake. He was freshly the Barber at this point. I mean, we're talking fall 87, and of course he became the Barber in spring of 87. Strikeforce, all right, they weren't yet tag team champs, but shortly after the release of this issue, they would become tag team champs. If not, right before this issue, I don't know the exact release date of this issue, but definitely at the time of publishing, they weren't yet champs. The Birdman, Coco Beware. He had been around for about a year, year and a half at this time. The British Bulldogs, of course, they were still around. They were around at least until SummerSlam 88. I don't know how much further they went than that, but they were still hugely popular. And there they are, of course, with Matilda. George the Animal Steel, obviously destroying a turnbuckle, and then he's in a factory. Is that when I believe he was like at the factory where they were making the wrestling ice cream bars. I can't tell if that's what it is, but I do think that I remember seeing that probably in WWF Magazine. The Fabulous Moolah, there she is versus Sensational Sherry. She might have lost the title by this point, and Sherry was the champ. We'll see. Maybe Sherry is further along. I don't go through these magazines before I get them on camera because I want my reaction to be the same as yours. Now, granted, of course, I've had this magazine since 1989, as I showed you at the beginning, so I have seen it many times, but it has been a while, so I don't go through it. You got the Rougeau brothers. Were they still good guys? I think they are, because there's no sign of Jimmy Hart, and they're not waving American flags, so I think at this time they were still good guys, but definitely by 1988 they were not. Bam Bam Bigelow, he was pretty new at this time. He came in I think late summer of 87, and they had that whole battle for Bam Bam where all the managers thought that they were signing him, and each week one of them got eliminated. I think Jesse would tell each manager that they got eliminated, and then they would show, like, they had like a graphic of on the, you know, for the TV of all the managers' faces, the bad guy manager faces, and each week one would get like crossed off or X'd out or something like that. That was good times. I remember that very, very well. And here's Oliver Humperdinck, his manager. So there you go. There was no Sensational Sherry in here at all. And it says the next manager of WWF Champions? Well, not really. He manages Bam Bam, and he manages Paul Orndorff when he turns on Heenan. And Orndorff wasn't actually in this magazine, other than a picture of him with the Heenan family. So, I don't know what was going on with him at the time. But there you go. Look at that. WWF, the symbol of excellence in sports entertainment. The World Wrestling Federation is the undisputed giant of the wrestling scene today. The action and the feuds, the personalities and the muscle are all featured in this up-to-date color atlas of the wrestling world. No WWF fans' library will be complete without Superstars 2. And there you go, guys. From 1987, it is Superstars 2, your complete guide to today's World Wrestling Federation Superstars. All right, guys, that was WWF Superstars 2 magazine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved these Superstars magazines when I was a kid. They were awesome. All right, we've already gone over one. This week, we've gone over 2. 3 will be out in a few weeks, maybe a month or so. And then we've got 4 and 5, and I will just sort of intersperse them throughout. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look forward to Superstars 3 coming soon. But until then, guys, have a good one.